thank you so much for joining the Leah Rae podcast. I am so excited for this next guest. I'm literally obsessed with this guest. Her name is Rebeca Minkoff. She is a global brand in luxury handbags, accessories, and apparel. Her designs are edgy, playful, with a little bit of rock and roll. That's why I wore like this jacket. I tried. From rich leathers and suedes with a beautiful sophistication and signature hardware, which really drew me to her designs. And the price points are just so amazing. I'm obsessed. She was part of the costume department in high school. She moved to New York City at only 18 years old to pursue her dream of becoming a fashion designer. Her first handbag was in 2005, which ignited Rebeca's career as a handbag designer and inspired her edgy, feminine creations for the years to come. She's a female founder collective, a network of businesses led by women that invest in women financial power across socioeconomic spectrums. And she enables and empowers female-owned businesses, which is very important and dear to my heart because I am a female-owned business owner. And I'm so excited to welcome Rebeca Minkoff. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me. I was so excited when I saw you slide into my DMs.
Oh my gosh, that's what I did to Sandy. I slid in her DMs. That's how we met.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, well, clearly I'm a huge fan of yours. Literally, if Sandy and I are shopping, I am drawn to your designs automatically. And I always have to go. I have the backpack. I have your purses.
I love it. I love it.
You're so talented. So thank you for coming on.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that you have the bags on display.
I know. I tried really hard here. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, but yeah, I'm very excited for you to meet Sandy too. I heard you guys are fans of Below Deck. And do you guys own a boat or do you like to go out?
So we have taken 3 catamaran trips. Well, one was not a catamaran. It was I'm not going to say a yacht because that gives the wrong connotation, but we did a gullet in Turkey and then a catamaran trip in Greece. And then we just came back in June from Sardinia.
Oh, nice.
And it's our favorite way to travel. And I love it. So we're big fans. And then if I can get on a boat outside of that, I'm here for it.
Yeah, we'll make sure that happens without a doubt. I mean, I promise you that. I promise you. I know. I mean, Sandy, she got me to love the maritime industry. I didn't really know a lot about it and what a special, amazing group of people it is. It's just a very unique family that we're actually going to go to the Monaco boat show this year for my 50th birthday. You should totally come. I mean,
sure.
I'll just send you the dates. I mean, you should totally come and hang. It's going to be really epic. We're going to go to the Buddha bar and hang out and go look at the big boys is in Monaco. The big toys are out there.
Oh yeah. When we were in Sardinia, Jeff Bezos had his sailboat and his super yacht. And we were like, wow, we were like the dinghy to him.
It's
but
okay. It was
crazy to see.
We like dinghies too. You know, it's all about the people in the dinghy and the people in the boat. And I have to say what drew me to you, I mean, obviously are your designs. I'm very picky. I love that sophistication. I love things that look high end, but that I can afford, you know? And you made that happen for myself. I'm a single mom, you know, and I really loved your designs. But it really is, I think what drew me to you was just who you are. You just seem so down to earth and beautiful and likable, and you're edgy, but you're not approachable. And you just really speak to so many different ages and genders and personalities. And it's really an amazing brand that you created.
Well, thank you. It is not just me. There have been a lot of very, very, I'm very lucky to have worked with and by some amazing women, 2 men. But yeah, it's, I think that, you know, when I started the brand, I couldn't afford high end, you know, I couldn't afford designer. And I thought, what can someone like me at 26 actually be able to purchase and still pay rent and eat? And the irony is when I started the brand, I couldn't even afford my bags, a $500 bag. So, but that was getting closer to where it is today, which we have opening price points. So I think for me, it was about figuring out a way to make a woman look and feel special without breaking the bank.
I agree, and your designs, I mean, I have so much stuff. I couldn't fit it all on this table, but I feel like I have a pretty good eye of fashion, coming from the makeup artist industry and the beauty industry. And as a singer, I was a gospel singer 30 years, and being around the entertainment industry, I feel like I have a pretty good sense, and your bags are just beautifully designed. And then I'm so excited you have now apparel and all of that. So when you were young, how did you afford to start a brand for yourself? Like what were the first steps that you took?
Yeah. So, I was making clothing to start off. I had worked for a designer. I had a 5-piece collection. It was tiny. And what really catapulted me was I had come back from, believe it or not, a boat trip. And I liked how they had in the Caribbean had cut up the teeth on them and made them just more unique. And I always hate coming back from a trip with like I love Barbados, it just seemed plain.
Yeah.
And so I started wearing, I think we were in Aruba or Bonaire. So I started wearing the shirt around and I was like, I want to represent my city. So I did that to a New York shirt, and through my sister-in-law, an actress, saw it and wanted it. I sent it to her on September 9th, 2001. She got it after 9/11, and she wore it on Jay Leno, and he asked her about the t-shirt on national TV. It was like this explosion. And I was in all these magazines, and this was pre-social media. So that was being in a magazine or being on TV really moved the needle. And I just started making this shirt out of my apartment, and I was fired from my job because she felt like I was focused too much on my own thing, which I was.
Yeah.
And I was not making any money by any stretch of the imagination, but I was making clothing and selling it, and that was all that mattered. And so I kept at it. I was styling women on the side. And I did that for about 4 years, making clothing, selling at local boutiques, and styling for TV commercials and putting my clothing in the TV commercials to hopefully get exposure. So it was really a 1.5 woman operation for a long time. And then that same actress came back to me and said, "Do you do bags?" And I lied to her, and I was like, "Yes, I do."
Good job. Yeah. You fake it till you make it kind of thing, right?
But you know what? You have to. And a lot of people do. And those are the ones that achieve success, I find.
Yeah. But you have a gift. So even though you fake it till you make it, you actually had a gift to go behind that, because there's a lot of hot messes thinking, and you were gifted from the very beginning. Did it run in your family, fashion or designing, or it just came to you?
My mom made her off to her honeymoon dress. And we had a sewing machine that was my grandmother's. And so my mom was the one to originally teach me how to sew, but I wouldn't say that she's artistic in that way or that my dad is.
Okay.
So it wasn't, I was just drawn to art and design and crafts at a young age. And it was something I just loved my whole life.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. So I know me as a businesswoman, I was married 20 years to a guy who handled all the finances and the income and all of that stuff. So I'm rebranding my own self, launching into the, more into the beauty industry. And I'll be 50 next year. And I just want to encourage women that it's never too late, and to really watch women like yourself. Even though, I'm not in my 20s starting, it's never too late. And it's all about the hustle and who you surround yourself with. It does take a village to make things happen, and the right people at the right time. The business side was hard for me. I'm more of a creator, and the image and the face and the hands-on person. Were you both, or did you have to learn the business, or how did that happen to grow your business?
I was not good at business at all.
Okay, I feel much better.
Co-founder. No, I'm good at it now.
Now, yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm the best, but I really leaned on my brother, who became my co-founder and business partner. I was like, well, you're here, I don't need to think about it, which looking back was a huge mistake. And 7 years in, he said, you need to learn the business. Yes. He said, you can't just be in the back designing. this is a new language that you need to learn. So instead of picking up the Vogues and Bazaars at the airport, I started picking up Inc. and Forbes and Fast Company and really educating myself on that. And to me, I think, I'm inspired by not knowing something and learning it. And so for me to understand the business has always been fascinating, and getting good at that is a challenge I like having. So now I know a lot more, but it definitely did not come easy.
Right. I totally get it, because so many times I fear like money and finance, and I work myself up, and I think that I'm fearful, and I'm up, have anxiety because I don't understand it. And so I think with fear, with anything, it's just not understanding. And so I've been doing what you did, and just educating myself and reading more and talking to many wealth managers and things like that. And it just opens a whole other perspective on decisions that you make, and all of that. But who are some designers, because I love you, but who are some designers that you look to and that kind of inspired you?
I think that Alexander McQueen, when he was alive, was incredibly inspiring, not for me to wear his designs, but the artistry and the craft and the innovation that he brought to me was like art more than actually, sometimes wearable. I think Isabel Marant is a gorgeous human and designer. I love her stuff. My friend Mara Hoffman is really talented. Rachel Comey. I like a good denim. So Levi's is probably my go-to, but I tend to gravitate towards female designers because I feel like Tom Ford said something interesting once. He said, as a man who doesn't have a period or has never had a child or doesn't have breasts, he has the same vision for a woman always, and it's constant and it never changes.
Oh, wow.
But women, when they have babies and all the things that happen to our bodies, actually are designing, I think for me, more in tune with what I'm looking for. Like I'll never fit into the Barbie, and he designs, let's just say, for the Barbie. Right. And so for me, I tend to gravitate towards female designers because I think they just know the changes and differences that women go through.
Yeah, I agree. I was that awkward kind of, short-waisted, long legs, and I struggled with, fashion a lot of the times. And it can be really frustrating when you land on a designer that just understands a woman's body. You just keep going to that same designer over and over and over. But So earlier I was talking with Sandy and my daughter. Do you have children?
I have 4.
You have 4, and naturally?
Yes.
Wow, good for you. I adopted my baby girl. She's 17 now. I adopted her at birth. She's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she's amazing. But how do you juggle? Because I know how do you juggle personal and business and balance that out?
So I will say that each phase or era of having a child and adding more presents different ways that you juggle it. Prior to having kids, I worked till midnight every night. I worked weekends. It didn't matter. I traveled relentlessly. And when I had my son, I very much made the conscious decision that I wanted to raise him and be there for bath time and bedtime, and had him brought to the office for feedings at noon every day. And then I brought him with me for the first year of his life to Korea, to China, to London, to France. And that took with a nanny, but it took a toll on me. But I said, if I'm going to have a kid, I have to integrate him into my life, and so that I can be with him.
Yes.
And then you have another child and you're like, okay, we're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And you have a third. And then I started testing my boundaries, and I said, where's too much work? What do I need to start saying no to? And then how do I build my bench? It's my nanny. It's my husband, who's an incredible father, where there aren't divided roles within the marriage of that's your job, that's your job. And then in the office with each kid I had to staff up, as the business was growing, with different roles that I might need. Do I now, I used to run an 18-person design team.
Oh, wow.
And now I have one person that runs the 18-person design team. So, it changes how you sort of focus your time and efforts. And I think recently I've just been like, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no to an incredible opportunity because I don't want to leave. I had an amazing opportunity to go to London a month after the baby, but he didn't have his passport yet. And I was like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I have to say no right now because I want these moments go so fast and I don't want to miss them.
Yeah. That's what I struggle with too is, with Sandy, she's not really a mom and, has always been like out at sea and doing her thing. And so with me now it's like, here's this teenager and it's great, but I feel guilty at times. Now I have this whirlwind life with Sandy and we're always traveling and going places and I feel bad, even though Lolo's doing her own thing half the time. But sometimes I have to say like, well, why am I going? Am I making money? Am I like, what's the purpose? So I'm the why person. And sometimes Sandy says, just go, just leave, so I guess now when you're heading into the 50s, you just start to think that way, like your time is so valuable.
Yeah, I think that way now. And I don't want this to sound weird, but I definitely go, what am I going to get out? If I'm leaving the kids, what am I getting out of tonight?
Yes.
And I go into that event as almost like
a mission.
The sonar of like, I'm on a mission that if I'm leaving you, I'm coming back with a name, a contact, an event, whatever. Right. So the other night I left my kids, I was on this beautiful boat. And I was looking around like, what did I leave my kids to go do? And when a conversation happened and someone said something and I was like, oh, I've been looking for that resource forever. I was like, great. Now it's worth it that I came out tonight.
Yeah.
And I think you have to think that way if you have priorities to make it worth it.
Yeah. And especially when you're at your level, to go from like the whole story about the t-shirt, the shirt you created and it just exploded and took off. And I think when you're at a level like yourself and like Sandy, it just changes your life forever. And everyone wants a piece of you. And, so you have to protect your own energy of the people you surround yourself with. And the people you go with no agenda are your true friends that love you, that, you feed each other's soul. It's just very healthy. And then you can like go off and, go to those boat parties and all of that, it's a lot. It could be a lot sometimes and draining and you have to really protect yourself. So I always say, so I lost my father to COVID, unfortunately, and my grandmother and my aunt. And after that happened, I thought, wow, life really is like, we really take nothing with us for sure. Now, of course I have to have these go with me. No. But we really don't. And it's really the legacy and how we made people feel that is left behind. So what would be I know there might be a lot of things, but what would be your legacy that you would want to leave behind for your children and then for your fans?
Great question. I think that the legacy I would love to have made will be, again, I made a product and a bag that was there for pivotal moments within a woman's life. When I meet my customer, she's like, I bought your bag, when I went to college, or I got your bag when I got my first job or my promotion or my divorce, right? This was the thing that was like the signal in my life that now I had achieved X. And so I love being part of those memorable moments, not to sound like a Pandora ad.
No, I love it.
But I think that's really fun. And I think that if that made that woman feel stronger or empowered or confident, there's that side of things from the product side. I think from the work we do at Female Founder Collective, hoping that the vast dent we need to make in women making more money and succeeding, I hope we can measure that by the work we're doing. I know we can, but I hope that someone can do a very complicated study and show me. Or just even to hear that over COVID, we led a cohort of 50 women through basically 2 months of learning how to raise capital. And this group of women has gone over to raise $50 million to fund their businesses. Like that's something I'm truly proud of that we did at a time when businesses were shrinking and going out of business. So I think that would be a legacy, like more women made more money, more women felt more confident with my stuff. And then for my kids to just be like, yeah, mom was really present in our lives, but she also worked her fucking ass off.
Right. I love that. I love that so much. Cause I just feel like it is really what you leave behind like that. And I love the fact that, you know, my daughter's starting to borrow my stuff and she goes right to your bag automatically. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so great. And so it's just even generational that you've created these designs to be passed down. And I think it's beautiful. So, and I love that you are in most of all of your advertisements because you are your brand. You are the image. You are all of that. If you ever get tired, I'm happy to step in for you.
Perfect.
And I can model your leg bags for you. You know, hey, this is what 50 looks like. But I'm so honored you came on. Seriously, like I truly am honored. I'm sure you were hoping Sandy would be here too. We're gonna definitely do that when she's back, and I want you guys to meet her in person. And I hope this isn't the last time. You know, it'll be so much fun. But I'm really, really grateful that you did this with me.
Of course,
I'm very honored. So. Thank you so much. And
you're welcome. And hopefully you get the shipment. We sent you a bunch of things. So hopefully you should get
I've
it
been
soon.
looking, I've been tracking it, and I can't wait because I'm going to take as much as I can on my trip because I'm very excited to see what I open up to.
Awesome. We'll keep in touch, and thank you for having me.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the Leah Rae podcast. Tap the bell so you get notifications, like and subscribe. I really appreciate your support. Thanks. Bye.